What's up with Rocket Chassis right now? We'll talk about their rough start to 2023, plus talk Lucas full-timers, the Grand Annual Sprintcar Classic, and more. Let's go. It's Thursday, January 26th. I'm Justin Fiedler. This is Dirt Tracker Daily. The 2023 Lucas Oil Late Model Dirt Series season gets underway tonight at Golden Isles in Georgia. But before we get into that, I wanted to talk for a second about Rocket Chassis. Underlying a lot of what happens in dirt late model racing is the ongoing chassis wars, and right now the fight has really come down to Longhorns versus Rockets, with Longhorns very much the talk of the town. We've seen high-profile defections, including Brandon Shepard, and Longhorn has dominated so far to start 2023. Looking down through the schedule page at dirtondirt.com, I don't believe we've seen a Rocket win any sort of decent-sized late model race yet this year. The Wild West Shootout was completely a Longhorn party. The Sunshine Nationals at Volusia were won both nights by Devin Moran in a Longhorn. Ray Cook won at Talladega, but that was in a Capital. Billy Moyer's Central Arizona win was in a Longhorn, and Ricky Weiss has his Snipers. So unless Bryson James is in a Rocket, we're looking at an over to begin the season. And that's on top of a very ho-hum opening weekend at Volusia for Hudson O'Neal in the Rocket House Car. 9th on Thursday was respectable, but Friday was not good. 19th of 24 cars in their qualifying group backed up in the heat race and missed the feature transfer in a B-main by one spot. For comparison, over his previous 149 Outlaw starts in the Rocket car, Shepard was only in 8 total B-mains, and he appeared in every single feature. Along the way, I'm sure a few Outlaw provisionals aided in that, but still, that's less than 5% of the time B-Shep was in a B. They may have been trying something on that second night, but if that lack of speed continues into this weekend, it could be a tough start to the year for Rocket. It won't matter as much this season because of the new Chase Championship format with Lucas, but there's clearly work to be done for Mark Richards and Rocket. Motorsports are very cyclical. One team or builder figures something out, they pull ahead, then a rival does the same, and back and forth we go. And clearly right now, Longhorn has something figured out that Rocket does not. It's a storyline to watch as Speed Weeks play out here over the next month between Florida, Georgia, Lucas, and the Outlaws. This Lucas season that kicks off tonight could be an intriguing one since we're looking at a new championship format and a very stout field of full-timers. If you remember back to the announcement at PRI, Lucas will begin eliminating teams from championship contention through the summer until we get to a Final Four who will battle it out for the title at the Dirt Track World Championship. There's also quite a bit more money being pumped into the system by the series, which is part of the reason why you've seen some guys, like Jonathan Davenport, commit to full runs. According to Kevin Kovac, that full-timers list with Lucas right now includes 14 drivers, and it does have a pair of rookies committed, which is good after what we talked about last month. No surprises on the list as of yet, with Tim McCready back to defend, along with Jonathan Davenport, Ricky Thornton Jr., Devin Moran, Hudson O'Neal, Tyler Erb, Garrett Alberson, Earl Pearson Jr., Ross Robinson, Dalton Wilson, Spencer Hughes, and Kyle Bronson. Will Harrington and Garrett Smith are joining up as those two first-timers. Based on this list, Bronson is actually declared right now with both series. He was at Volusia. He is in that top 23 in the point standings. Got that little bit of a points bump, and he's also listed here. So we'll see if that changes in the coming weeks. And I don't know Smith's plans, but originally Harrington was coming to Speed Weeks to race and then see how things went from there. His season with Lucas may very well depend on how Georgia and Florida play out. And as expected, last night's open practice at Golden Isles was rained out, but the rest of the weekend is on as scheduled. We did get a bunch of rain here in the southeast yesterday, so things could be a bit heavy tonight. It'll be chilly when the sun goes down, but we should be good to go over the next 3 days. Tonight is $10,000 to win, Friday is $12,000 to win, and Saturday is $25,000 to win. Nice money being put up by Golden Isles and Kyle Bronson. Kyle actually owns the racetrack. A year ago, Brandon Overton won 2 of 3 nights here with Moran, the other winner. In 2020, McCready, Jimmy Owens, Bronson, and Josh Richards picked up victories at Brunswick. I'd guess we'll be in the mid-30s to maybe low 40s for car count through the weekend. You'll have all of the Lucas regulars, obviously, plus several of the Outlaw teams and others like Brandon Overton. Remember, if you can't be at Golden Isles, the full Lucas season is streaming on Flow Racing. If you need a Flow subscription to tune in, click the link below in the video description or the Flow links over at dirttracker.com. That gets you a whole heap of racing on Flow, and it helps out Dirt Tracker in the process. Down under this weekend is the Grand Annual Sprintcar Classic at Premier Speedway, and the first of 3 nights gets started tonight around 1 a.m. Eastern here in the States. The common comparison you'll hear about this event is it's Australia's equivalent to the Knoxville Nationals. Looking at the entry list, we are well across 100 cars for the weekend, and unlike the past few seasons, the American drivers have made the trip to challenge the locals. As you scroll the entries, you'll see names like Justin Sanders, Kerry Madsen, Ian Madsen, James McFadden, V8 supercar driver Cam Waters is racing, Lachlan McHugh, Chase Randall, Cole Macedo and Carson Macedo, Brock Zierfoss, Corey McCullough, Brooke Tatnell, Tyler Courtney, Jock Goodyear, Sheldon Haudenschild, Corey Eliason, Brad Sweet, Jamie Veal. Very much a who's who, and there's a whole lot more on that list besides those names I just mentioned. $250,000 will be paid out over the 3 days, with the feature winner on the final night earning a very cool $50,000. Lachlan McHugh is the defending event winner. James McFadden has won it twice. Kerry Madsen has a trio of victories. And locals like Veal, McCullough, and Robbie Farr have all won it as well. If you aren't down that way and want to watch, you've got a few options this weekend. Clay Preview has action all week, as does Dirt Vision. So check it out if you're having sprint car withdrawals right now. It's something we'll be keeping an eye on here over the next couple of days. A couple of other news items for you today as well. Matt Westfall announced he'll be full-time with the USAC National Sprint Cars this season, driving the Ray Marshall 33M. He's got just a single sprint car win in his career at Eldora in 2006, but he is a regular with the series. He's made 83 starts over the past 3 years, and in that span, he's picked up 3 top 5 and 19 top 10 finishes. USAC Sprint Car season starts at Volusia February 13th and 14th with a pair of non-points shows, before then moving over to Bubba Raceway Park later that week. Also on the USAC side, Bryant Wiedemann is moving from Keith Coons to Chad Boat for the 2023 midget season. Wiedemann was the Power Eye champion in 2021 and has 70 USAC midget appearances since 2020. He's still looking for that first national victory with USAC, but does have 10 top 5s and 27 top 10s. That KKM lineup will be very different this year. Buddy Kofoid is moving on, as is Kaylee Bryson. Now Bryant Wiedemann is out. They have added Ryan Timms, and we should see names like Taylor Reimer and Brenham Crouch, among others, in their lineup as the season starts here later in April. And finally, we talked last week about the World of Outlaws Late Model Series. They signed up more than 20 drivers as series regulars to start the season. And I mentioned the difficulties that would provide for the kind of new and rookie teams who will try and make a go of it. If you're further down the order, the money gets light pretty quickly. But as of yesterday, the series is trying to help with that by expanding their winner circle program from 12 drivers up to 15. So if you stay within the top 15 in the standings, you'll earn $2,500 a month on top of regular purse money and the points fund. We'll see if this entices a few more teams to try and stick around for the full run to World Finals. There are 8 shows across the streaming services today, although it's actually 7 because one program is being streamed by 2 different providers, like I mentioned. Dirt Vision has night 1 of the Grand Annual Sprintcar Classic at Premiere and Dirt Vision Now. Clay Preview also has the Classic, like I mentioned. They've also got sedans from Kingaroy. Flow Racing has the opening night of Lucas, plus Winter Nationals from East Bay and Flow 24/7. And there's IMCA Racing that continues on Speed Sport from Central Arizona. To see the full daily streaming schedule with links to watch, visit dirttracker.com/watch tonight. All right, that's it for the show today. Thanks everybody for tuning in. We'll be right back here tomorrow for more Dirt Tracker Daily.